Euphoria, bliss, ecstasy, different frequency, yes? Suffering, whoa, a lot of density there. She moved all the suffering. She transmuted suffering into bliss with that breath. She released the energy that was stored in that second center. That's where abuse is stored in a child, right down here. It's a lot of energy. That energy, like a rocket, shot right up into the brain, and it was translated into a greater frequency called euphoria, bliss. And the experience, listen to this, the inward experience created an emotion with the refractory period that created a mood. One long emotional reaction from an inner event. And then it lingers and it becomes a temperament. And she keeps the emotion going and she keeps connecting to that emotion. It becomes a new personality trait. It becomes who she is. How many people understand?
There was two things I want to say quickly. One of my meditations on the cruise, it was really deep, it was really great, but my brain decided to take me through everything traumatic I'd ever been in my life and things that I never even remembered happening to me. And just told me that I was a bad person over and over again and that I didn't deserve anything. And I came out of meditation and I went to the cabin and I just started sobbing. And I was like, I don't even want to meditate anymore if I'm going to just experience these memories coming up. Like, that's terrible. But I continued to do the work. And for a couple days, I meditated and it was horrible. And I remember things that I never even knew happened to me. And I had to forgive myself and I had to detach the emotion from the memory and use it as a learning tool and as a wisdom. And I just kept saying that over and over in my head. Also, what was the other thing? Oh, last night, I was like, oh, I'm fully healed, and a symptom started to like tiptoe into my field. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Am I not healed? Did I just make that all up? Like, what just happened? Why is this happening? And I realized that I went into old behavior patterns, and it was like it could slowly creep up on you. And so, if anything, I know that I'll continue to do the work for the rest of my life just to keep that at bay. But having the awareness of you're not just in the clear when you heal, or always keep an eye out, always keep yourself in check, and make sure you continue to do the work daily for the rest of your life.
Now, I would consider that a significant change, and it is astute then for us to keep conscious of our blind spots. Would you agree? And if she starts looking for symptoms, she's going to find them, yes? Because that's what the analytical mind does. She's got to get into that state of bliss and that state of gratitude and that state of freedom, that the moment she starts analyzing, she's going to realize she loses that feeling, because the analysis is going to divide that energy. So she's going to have to just stay in it for a little bit more time, and that will become the new personality. But I have no doubt that she's going to have another great moment this week that's going to begin to solidify the process. Would you commit to the thought that Christine is a living example of truth? And would you commit to the thought, remember how we create the prison in our own world, that she freed herself from the very prison that she created? Yes or no? And now think about this, because when you're threatened in your environment and you're abused as a child and you think that everything is your fault or that you've done something wrong, you subconsciously create that experience in your life over and over again. Yes or no? And then when you start noticing sensitivities to everything in your environment that you're reacting to, and you're having symptoms in your body that are beyond your control, then you start analyzing everything you do. Even the food you put in the mouth, the environment you're in, the people you're around, you have to constantly analyze everything. And you analyze everything in terms of good and bad, right and wrong, positive and negative, yes or no? And now you are dividing energy. You're dividing energy, and you no longer have any power over your condition. One moment, she went all in. Those of you who are going half speed on this breath, that should be a testament that in one instant, that energy struck her brain and she's a different person. She's not sneezing, she has no mask, she can lay on the ground, she's eating anything she wants, she can hug people, be around people. I saw her on the cruise, and she was not happy. She didn't smile. She was outside the room with the mask. And then, snuck in a little bit, because that kind of person, she has tenacity. It takes tenacity to live that long. The vagus nerve is your body's clutch. It's your body's brake. It's what slows down the body into rest and repair. It's what it creates all of those metabolic functions of order. You got a virus on the vagus nerve, the parasympathetic system. You're shutting off the system in an immense amount of pain for you to relax into the present moment. So she's in constant vigilance. She's in a constant state of arousal, a constant state of alert. And now she has to pay even more attention to her environment, because her environment is signaling weakness in everything she does. And now all of a sudden she's sensitized to everything. One moment, no analysis, no talk therapy, no drug, no nothing that she did was able to change it until she released that energy that was stored in that center right back into her brain, and there went all of that guilt with it. There went all that information that's associated with the story of her past, and it created euphoria in the brain. She popped. One instant, went into gamma, and that elevated frequency is what began to rewrite her biology.